I would go ultra cheap. And I've been talking about this for like more than a year, so I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. And I'm going to say I don't want to spend big money on quarterbacks anymore. I think the supply and demand is flipped, and it's a buyer's market. So what I would do is I would look on the free agent market, and I would sign someone that I think I can get for cheap. And really, there's two names. I think Dak Prescott is going to be too expensive. I think even with the broken leg, he's going to get a lot of money. The other guy, Ryan Fitzpatrick, he just outplayed Garoppolo. He's 38 years old. You can't do that. You can't. So not Fitzpatrick. What I would do, and this is not going to be very popular with 49er fans, and this is why I'm saying I'm not moving off Jimmy Garoppolo yet. This is if Jimmy Garoppolo kind of crashes and burns and loses in the playoffs or doesn't make the playoffs and Niner fans like want to switch. I wouldn't go get a real expensive player. I would sign Jameis Winston, former number 1 pick, taking a year off right now to study behind Drew Brees and Sean Payton. He can throw pop passes, shovel passes, screen passes. And when it's time to throw down the field, he can do that too. And he can also commit turnovers like young James. But the thing is not to turn the team over to Jameis Winston. You have a vet who started games and has talent that you give a 1-year deal for $1 million. And then you trade Jimmy Garoppolo for first, if you can, trade him to New England, wherever. Now you have 2 first-round picks. Now you can maneuver and you can make sure you get Zach Wilson from BYU. I like Zach Wilson. I would roll with a vet on a dirt cheap deal and a first-round pick at quarterback. That would be my exit strategy from Jimmy Garoppolo if it were necessary. What do you guys think? Am I fired? Or do I not get to be the general manager of the team?
Okay. So Jameis Winston is very, very talented. Nobody's been able to get whatever out of that talent yet.
Nope.
I do think there's problems with Jameis Winston's personality that need to be touched on, but that's a topic for another day.
True.
The issue I have with this entire strategy is that you're going to become a top-heavy team. That's what's going to happen. Because you trade all your assets to go get the quarterback, and then you have Jameis Winston, and you're going to pay Fred Warner, you're going to pay Trent Williams, you're going to pay Nick Bosa's contract will be soon, and that'll probably happen early, and you have George Kittle, and now you lose the depth that you have a roster. And it's not like you're a team that drafts particularly well. You're like Kansas City, where they seem to hit every other pick. Every other pick, they seem to nail it. So that's that. I don't think that that's a very plausible long-term future type plan. The ideal thing with Winston is that you just had that quarterback fall to you. But then I do have questions about whether this system can be grasped and learned by a rookie quarterback, especially the way Kyle wants to run it. If a rookie quarterback can grasp it and be ready for instant success, like a Patrick Mahomes, like a Deshaun Watson, because their instant success was more take what they did in college, mix it with what they do, what you want to do in the NFL, and give them stuff similar, and also don't put any leash on them. Hey,
Shanahan has shown that he would do that. He did that for Robert Griffin. He did that to an extent for Robert Griffin in 2012 and for Jimmy.
But it was still a structured offense, right? It was read option. All right, Robert, we're going to go play action. Look exactly at that guy. If he goes left, you throw it to this guy. If he goes right, you throw it to that guy.
Right. True.
That was what they tried doing for Kaepernick, and it's shown that the running quarterback thing, like with Kyler Murray and Lamar Jackson, these new read option quarterbacks, they don't do that thing. They actually stand in the pocket, and they do go through progressions, and they do understand defenses, and they do understand where to go with the football. They're not like what was going on with Robert Griffin.
Yeah.
So that's real. And so that's where I think the veteran quarterback is plausible. And then the other thing is, we brought this up before. Can Shanahan really just sit and evaluate quarterbacks and say, this guy's good, this guy's bad, and all these things and develop a quarterback? We don't know. I don't know. No. But again, let me come back to let me try to make another point in my favor. It's like you're saying they're going to sacrifice depth and they'll be top heavy. The way I look at Jimmy's status on the team is every year that he's on the team making $27 million, they're going to have to let someone go that they'd like to keep. This year, it was Buckner. Next year, it could be Tart or Trent Williams or someone. And it's worth it if he's worth $27 million a year. But if he's not, and you know deep down that you're asking him to do stuff that a guy making $5 million a year could do, then it's a hard pill to swallow. And you're letting guys leave who are better football players than him.
So he needs, if he improves and gets back to being the man on third down and just plays like he did last year, fine. But if not, and in 2020 Jimmy is here to stay, then I'd rather spend nothing on the quarterback position. Have a guy like Jameis, who was a first-round pick. Have a guy like Zach Wilson, who is a first-round pick. Have two talented guys and Nick Mullins. That's a good, athletic, talented quarterback room. I would like to move ahead that way, and that way I wouldn't have to choose between.
You know it won't be Nick Mullins, right?
What's that?
You know that number 3 quarterback is not going to be Nick Mullins, right?
I'm just saying what I would do.
You know who it
Nick
would
Mullins,
be, right?
It would be Beathard. Yeah. But no, I'm not sure it would, because Beathard's an unrestricted free agent and Mullins is a restricted free agent. Yeah, and if you want
to like enough value where you might have to give him a bigger contract because of the tender, Beathard will probably be worth the league minimum.
Maybe
put a second round tender on Nick.
But again, if you want to back up to like teach the offense to these two new guys, it's Mullins. I mean, Beathard, what's he going to do? What's he going to say? Sorry. I mean, maybe he knows. Maybe he's smarter than I realized.
I wouldn't want to. Honestly, I don't want to move forward with either of them. So someone said he developed Kirk Cousins, and I'm going to say it again. He didn't spend enough time with Kirk Cousins to sit and develop him. Him and his father drafted Kirk Cousins. They really liked Kirk Cousins, but they were out the door in Kirk Cousins' second year. I want to say, was it 2 years that he had with him? So, and Kirk Cousins was not that good with them because he was still really young and stuff. Kirk Cousins' best football came when Jay Gruden came there, and he played really well with Sean McVay and all of that. So you can't really attribute Kirk Cousins' development to Kyle Shanahan. And I think when we're talking drafting and developing quarterbacks, we're not talking about we're not talking about develop an average quarterback. This is Kyle Shanahan. This is one of the top play callers in the NFL. Maybe in
someone special.
History. We're talking about developing a superstar quarterback to maximize your play calling.
A rock star.
Yep. Right. The way Bill Walsh developed Joe Montana. The way Andy Reid's doing it with Patrick Mahomes. We're talking that level. Because that's the level of coach he is.
No question.
So when you're that level, that's where I think Matthew Stafford, a guy who already has that type of talent, just has never had the right situation, the right coaching, all those things. I think that's the easier way to go. And I think that's the less risky way to go.
Right. I would just say that Jameis Winston also has the talent. That's not the question with Jameis. It's everything else. But again, but
even with Jameis and Matthew Stafford has an arm that's like once in generations type of arm.
It is. It's on the Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen spectrum. Yeah. Yes. Agreed.